Here we have the monster size Komatsu PC1100LC-6 excavator made by Joal on 1/50th scale. And this is one of my all-time favorite models, one of my all-time favorite excavator models. This thing is just plain awesome. And if you don't have one, get one. And that is the most convincing thing that I have ever said. It's not the most detailed piece out there, but man, it's huge, it's awesome, and even if you don't like Komatsu, it's a cool piece. It's about the equivalent size of a 5110B CAD excavator. This is going to be a pretty long review because there's a lot to cover. Big machine. It's around 110, 120 ton excavator in real life. Another thing before I start the review, this is one of the most durable excavator models that has the most durable metal tracks on it that I have ever reviewed, I've ever seen. I have several of these in my collection. I love them. They are awesome. They're great in dioramas. They're great just to look at. They're awesome pieces. I have even more of these than I have 375s. 375 is another one of my all-time favorites. To give you an idea of size, I'll throw a couple different models in here. First off is the, I'll show you the PC88. Fits in between the tracks. I'll show you out here. I mean, this thing is absolutely huge. Got a PC88, that tells you how big it is. I'll bring the trusty first gear matte granite dump truck in here so you can see how big it is compared to a street truck. Huge. The bucket barely will fit inside of the dump box on this dump truck. It is so big. You can't see it there. Look at that. It's huge. Incredible. Okay. I'm just about done talking. We'll get to the review here. Of course, I have to add my editorial comments because it wouldn't be a model review without them. So, start with the undercarriage like I do on a lot of excavator models. Again, as I said, these tracks right here are the most durable tracks there are. I have yet to ever seen one break. I didn't do it personally, but I have seen somebody drop one of these off of a table onto a concrete floor and nothing happened to it. I don't suggest trying that, but nothing broke. Pretty impressive. You can't say that for a North Scott or even a first gear model, let alone a WSI. Again. Up here you'll see the idler. It's held on by that silver pin. You see the track chain on this machine is huge, just like every other part of it. It's got double grouser pads. These are, I think, the biggest excavator tracks, width-wise, ever made. See the sprocket back here in plastic with tons of bolt head detail. It's plastic, but still awesome. This is the first time I've had this one PC1100 out of the box. I had to fight with it to get out of the box, so if you do get one of these, be kind of careful. You don't. And here again, I didn't break anything, and I had to get pretty aggressive to get it out of the box. So here's kind of the ladder area to get up to the catwalk to get to the cab. See that there. The handrails are all plastic, but they are pretty sturdy plastic and they are very convincing looking. They might be a little bit out of scale, but they certainly don't look bad. There's the cab. See the Komatsu logo there. It's a -6 machine. One of the really cool things about this model is the etched walkways. Whoa, focus problem there. You can kind of see through them there. Very, very cool. Most models that were from this era did not have etched walkways. Of course, they weren't big enough. You can see here through the handrails, the PC1100 graphics are very clean. I know I'm going to mess this up like I just did, but there you can see very nice and clear the Avance logos. One of the really cool things about this excavator model is the dig depth, and the dig depth on this model is absolutely incredible. That gives you an idea there. That's pretty deep. I don't suggest posing your model this way either because something could happen to it. You can see there's a significant amount of track sag, but the tracks do roll very, very well. One of the unusual things about this model and some of the other Joal pieces is the paint composition. Some people believe that Joal had their stuff powder coated. I have stripped this paint off of a PC1100. It is extremely thick and it is very, very tough to get off. They did use a lot of plastic. You see those hydraulic lines there are plastic, those there, those hydraulic lines are plastic. Swing the model around. To back it up a little bit. There's the counterweight. They did an excellent job of modeling the counterweight with all the different angles. Sorry for the styrofoam pieces that are still left on it. They simulated a lot of anti-slip up here on the engine cover. That looks very realistic and very convincing. The exhaust stack is plastic, but looks very nice in my opinion. They didn't drill any holes through the eyelets sticking up from the counterweight, but again, for the time, I don't think anybody did. See this huge Komatsu graphic on the back, logo, very cool. I'll bring you up here to where the boom connects. Some minor details in the casting, back of the cab, plastic hydraulic lines going up the boom. Up there, more plastic hydraulic lines. All the cylinders are plastic. They are very durable plastic. That doesn't mean you should play with this piece. If there was a piece that was made for a sandbox, to be perfectly honest with you, this would be a piece that could survive the sandbox. I don't know how long it could survive the sandbox, but this piece is tough enough that it could definitely survive. They did a really, really nice job here on the radiator grills. They look awesome there as well. Tracks are very detailed, especially for the time with the bolt heads. Here another small catwalk with more plastic railings. More plastic railings along the top of the machine here. Again, the exhaust stack. Hydraulic cylinders, massive hydraulic cylinders. There's the boom, obviously the side of the boom. Again, the hydraulic lines. Here's the lights for the boom. They didn't paint them, doesn't really surprise me. Another Komatsu logo, very clean and crisp. And up here, stick cylinder. It has dual cylinders on the stick to control the bucket. The range of motion on the bucket is awesome. You can see it curls all the way in there. The bucket itself has a lot of detail. And I'll curl it all the way back out so you can see just how far it goes all the way back out. Very cool. I'll show you the bucket and the linkage. There's the linkage there. The details, all the ribbing on the bucket. They did an excellent job on. See all the heavy-duty wear plating that has been put on this bucket, modeled in it on both sides. Here are the dual cylinders, plastic. These cylinders are very tight, which is a good thing, but again, I don't suggest playing with this model because it will wear out. But go ahead and give you a little bit different view of the cab. Pretty detailed for the time. Again, the walkway in the front there with the etched part of it. Sunroof is see-through like many Excavator models. There is the boom light again. You can see, like I said, I just pulled this model out of the box here a couple minutes ago before I started to review, and it, as you can see, has a shine. The paint has a really nice sheen to it. Overall, again, one of my all-time favorite Excavator models, one of my all-time favorite models to review. I'm going to stretch this all the way out so you can get an idea. From the end of the bucket to the end of the tracks is about 15 3/8 inches. That's huge. The track pads are about 3/4 of an inch wide. Let's see here how I have it all stretched out. Give you an idea here in just a second. I'll measure the reach off the ground. Measures right in about 10 1/8 inches. That's pretty big for an Excavator model. Very impressive piece. I can't say enough good things about it. Try to show you from a different angle here what's behind the cab and behind the boom. All sorts of little details here and there. You can even see the bolt head detail on top of the cab there. That's pretty cool. I like this piece a lot. I would highly recommend it to anyone. You are not going to find a more durable Excavator model. This is good for kids, if you have young kids. These aren't cheap anymore. I see them going for between 80 to 100 and even more. It's well worth it in my opinion, especially if you're not going to give it to a kid, if you're going to put it in your collection. It's easily worth $100. Again, all around a great piece. I give Joal an A+, especially for the time period. Almost out of time here, so we'll wrap it up. Again, like Mike's Models 2011 on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. And that's it for this review. Thanks for watching.